Hi, Sagittarius. It's Angela. Here we are. We're going to do a soul guidance reading for July 2022 for Aquarius, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Sorry about that. Yeah, so this is going to be soul guidance. We are not a predictive place here. We don't say, here's the outcome and here's what you're encountering and that kind of thing. It's not an external reading, it's an internal reading. And what we're doing is we're tapping into aspects of your soul that can potentially be transformed and shifted into new ways of experiencing life, into some growth and emergence of your truest self, into some healing. There's all kinds of ways we can transform ourselves if we're dealing with it at a soul level. And that's what we're here with the soul guidance readings for. Okay, so I pulled an oracle for you from this deck called Goddess Love. And the card I got for you, Sag, is Ignite. It says, release your potential. So this is a card of creativity. This is tapping into that inspirational, the sort of second chakra vibration, that place where the depth of you is, and letting it shine out, and maybe letting a creative spark take hold and create new ways, new projects, new skills, new ways of communicating, new ways of seeing things, a new formation of your inner being shining through. All kinds of newness can come from this vibration. Okay, let's see what the Zen cards say as it pertains to this vibe of igniting, right? Light that fire that's within you. Okay, your starting point here, Sag, is sharing. So yeah, it's like almost like, they go, look at that. They're both holding this flame. Oh my gosh, I just noticed that. Shine your light. Share your fullest sense of who you are with others. Let it guide the way toward, your next set of experiences, but let it out. It's so important to make sure that the light that is within you is shown to the world. This could be in your personal relationships. It could be at work. It could be with a project or your career. It could be with your own being, between you and your inner being, like uncover some of that stuff that's been lying dormant and waiting to be expressed. Right. So this is important. This is a great start. Making sure we're attuned with those inner spaces within us, and we're allowing ourselves to bring them up and out and shine through. Internally and within you, the energy that supports this vibration of, letting your flame come out, is the Harmony card. So this is making sure within you that you're aligned, body, mind, spirit, and that you have an open channel. Your intuition is open so that you can be intuitively guided, how to proceed as you continue your path forward. This is a sort of like a creative spark, but it does not have to be with a creative project, but it's definitely a defining moment in your expression and the way you express. And it's very important that within you, you're aligned, mind, body, and spirit, your heart and your head are aligned so that your expression, whatever comes out and whatever is brought up, is authentic, right? It's authentic to only you. In your external position here, we got guidance. So look at that. So it's more following the light. This is even like kind of, because it's in the external position, this is kind of, once you've nailed down, I've got these things to express out. I'm going to make sure they're authentic and they're coming from the deepest, most aligned space within me. Then in your inner world, in your waking life, in your outer world, you're able to move so much more smoothly because you're moving from this alignment, right? And from your authenticity and from what drives you and what sparks you. Now you're flowing. Now you're in that flow of life. It's really easy to sort of lose track of those things that guide us and drive us, because we're out here getting busy stuff done, right? We're planning our day. We've got this schedule. We've got, you know, the kids and the work and the cooking and the cleaning and all that. We got all of this stuff to manage and handle. And we lose track with that inner alignment and that inner spark, that thing that really moves us, gets kind of, you know, put away in a little box for a while as we're out here actively living our life. What we want to do is try to integrate the two, right? We don't want to drop one for the other, but we don't want to let that spark of who we are lie dormant either. We want to bring it up and out and make sure that we are living as our fullest sense of who we are, you know, in as many moments as possible. Okay, now let's go back down. This next card is here. This is the key to moving forward, to rising above here to this new way of being, or a new set of tools to learn and utilize, and a higher perspective on this, on our lives. And that key to moving into our next level of awareness, excuse me, is this dream card. This is cautioning us to, you know, trust that, okay, yeah. So this, basically the face of this card is saying, you know, there's a dream, grow up, fall in love, live happily ever after. And that's the only thing that's going to make me happy, right? If that dream, I have a dream and I need the dream to come true in order for me to be happy. Well, we know as enlightened beings, that's not how life works, right? The happiness has to be there in order to bring it up and out and apply it into our lives. So dropping that sense of these things need to happen before my spark can show through, before I can make this forward movement, or before I can have this creative expression, or before I can make this change to my alignment, certain things have to happen or it's not going to work. Well, you know, you'll end up probably spinning your wheels in place for a long time if that's what you're expecting, an external situation to come through before I can feel aligned and happy. It's the other way around. Feel aligned and happy, let your true self show up, and the external situations start to happen as they're meant to, right? May not be the same picture as this dream, but they will be fulfilling and they will be true to the course of your life, right? And that's what we talk about when we say authenticity. It isn't the same for everyone. It's what's true for you. And your inner creativity is really calling to be let out. You're ready, I think. If you have in mind, Sagittarius, you know, a specific goal, maybe this is a creative project, maybe it's a specific goal, then this stuff still applies. What I tend to do is read more energetically, as you know, from your soul level, and but it also could apply to a specific, you know, hardlined goal that's in your life. Sometimes this is just more of an energetic thing where I want to make adjustments within so that my experience in my day-to-day life is smoother, right? But obviously this could also be a goal. If it's a specific goal that you're trying to achieve, like a creative project, if you're not being your authentic self throughout the whole thing, right? Like, what good is it, right? That's the whole point of creativity, is to be my authentic. So the alignment, the inner guidance, all those things still apply to an actual manifested goal that you're trying to achieve. But then let's be cautious of, you know, the way we need it to be and look in order for us to feel successful. Okay, because sometimes things change shape. As long as it's always internally guided, you can't go wrong. Okay, now we land here at the next level of being and of clarity. And what we got here is some powerful cards. We land on completion. So the center card here in this top line of awarenesses is completion. And this is your intuition falling into place, right? So this is after I decided to let that spark ignite, right? Show who I am, let it guide the way, find my inner alignment, and listen to my guide as I move about my world. I drop the need for any one way for it to show up, and I'm willing to let things fall into place the way they're supposed to. And then my sort of like this level of teaching and learning about myself is complete because I was able to follow my inner guide. That's what this is calling for, is that intuitive aspect of yourself being the thing that moves you through. And you've got that. So now you have that. Now what? So now internally, yeah, my intuition's on board. I used it in order to, move through this phase that I'm in. And now I realize, this change card is, it's kind of a visual of what we feel when we're in the middle of change. And if we're going to cling to that one way, right, that dream card brought us, if we're going to cling to those sort of outer part of the wheel that's spinning around and around, because change is constant, remember, it never stops, it's always going, there is always a little chaos being generated in the universe, and it's constant movement. And if we're going to cling to, oh, I have to have it be one way, I'm going to resist, this is a resisting point, clinging to the outside of that wheel is just going to make you dizzy, right? It's just going to have you spinning and really kind of struggling to stay with it. When you begin to realize, okay, this stuff's internally guided. This isn't about me setting goals and taking action. I mean, it is, but it starts internally. It starts within. And once you start getting that, then when you're experiencing the change, which is always there, you can go rest in the middle. You can go within and be with what's there within you. Be with your own energy, your own soul, your own guidance. And you won't get as dizzy, right? Because you're resting in the middle and everything's still spinning around and it's still going crazy out there. But you're able to have more attunement to what's right for you. You have this inner alignment, this harmony that you're achieving. And that's where you kind of want to, as much as possible, that's kind of where you want to stay as you're moving through your life. Stay in the center, the eye of the storm, and know, what your strengths are, what you want to express out, what you want to achieve, know that from an intuitive place. It's kind of what I'm trying to say. And then what that results in for you, and the card that like kind of puts a cap on this whole reading, is breakthrough. And that's your outcome. Big breakthroughs, personal breakthroughs. This is your third chakra calling. This is your sense of self-empowerment and sense of, yeah, this is who I am and I will express it out, right? It moves from wanting to express and create from my inner being and who I am by igniting that little flame and getting the path started. And it ends with big transformation, big letting out, big releasing really of old ways that had us holding things in place and not really wanting to, make a creative move for fear of how it might look, or not really wanting to express out how we feel because people may not jive with what I think. This is like all that stuff gets dropped and it actually gets blown up because you are going within. You're starting with that internal guide, what you know to be true for you, and moving accordingly. And then you move with the energy and the information and the data that the universe puts in your path, and you move with it and you say, oh yeah, I like this. I like the way this feels. I'm going to go in that direction as I'm still creating my entire being or my project or whatever it is. And yeah, this little thing that I'm coming upon next, it doesn't feel so good. I don't think I'll spend a lot of time here. I'll move on. It's all internal. We think we're making decisions with our mind, but the first nudge comes from our intuition. It comes from our source. Okay. And that's the key to tapping into your all those creative expressions that are just waiting really to be sent out into the universe. And like I said, this could be actual projects. You could be like writing a song and wanting to express it out, or, creating some kind of art, or, writing a novel or whatever. Or it could just also be creating a new facet of your being to develop and keep in your alignment as you move through, as you emerge and grow and mature. You might want to that might be the focus that you have right now, and that's okay too. All right, Sag, it was good to see you guys. I hope to see you again really soon, and have a happy start of your summer.